When my wife first was diagnosed with a terminal illness, I had no clue what hospice or Trinity Hospice was about.
You just couldn't do without them, and it made the transition from being sick to knowing they're dying to dying so much easier.
They were the support that we desperately needed.
The first blessing we had was that we got the information early on, and we were able to use Trinity Hospice in the ways that we thought were most important.
Hospice is a philosophy of care beyond cure. Our focus is on quality of life at end of life. We look at managing not only the physical symptoms that a patient has, but the psychosocial, the spiritual, and look at the whole person at the end of their life.
Caregivers at Trinity Hospice are committed to symptom relief, care, and overall well-being of the patient and their family.
Hospice is paid for 100% by Medicare under the Medicare Hospice benefit. It's also covered 100% by Medicaid or Title 19, and most private insurances have a hospice benefit, oftentimes covered at either 80-20 or a 90-10. Our hospital, under the Trinity Hospice program, oftentimes writes off the copay for the family so that they don't have to worry about that expense in entering hospice care. We try very hard to help them understand that coming to hospice doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to focus on dying, but we're going to focus on having them live every day until the end of their life.
We help to make sure that they know that they have a group of people who are committed to support, to encouragement, to managing their symptoms, to the best of our ability to avoid any unnecessary discomfort or pain, but also to provide the support systems.
Hospice is one of the few services in the medical community that utilize the team approach to care. We have a multidisciplinary team, and the social worker is a very important part of our team. Our social workers go to the initial visits with our nurses to meet families for the first time and explain our hospice services. They are there to address the patient's psychosocial needs or the family's psychosocial needs. There's all kinds of different dynamics that we see when we enter into patients' homes at the end of their lives, and there's usually multiple issues that we are there to address.
When the social worker was explaining the process to my children, I think my children began to understand, to accept that their mother is going to pass at some point in time. It could be, the next day, or it could be next week, and that every emotion that goes through their body, be it anger, be it fear, is natural.
As part of our team approach, I help oversee what the nurses are doing. The nurses are our eyes and ears as they're out in the patient's home or the extended care facilities, the nursing care facilities with these patients. So they report to us and let us know what we can do to best help the patient's symptom management as far as pain or shortness of breath or whatever they may have.
The doctor came out to our home and treated him there. We didn't have to bring him into the hospital for any reason because he was very uncomfortable.
Additionally, there's other team members I think are very valuable as well, as far as the nurses' aides, the chaplain services, we have the massage therapists. There's a whole host of services that hospice can offer to help the patient.
The volunteers were vital. It's overwhelming when you're the primary caregiver for an individual. You have to take a break.
We do something different with every family. We don't tell them what we're going to do. We ask them what they need of us. And every family is so different.
I think she could ask these people things that she didn't want to ask in front of us. And they came at times of the day when we weren't there. So it was nice for us to have someone that was there, filling in the gaps when we were working or busy with our kids.
These people, they're grateful for you just coming and listening. And really, as a volunteer, listening is probably the most important thing we do.
But when I identify a patient that would benefit from hospice, I tell the patient invariably that this is going to be helpful for you in your end-of-life experience, but it's going to be more helpful for the people you leave behind, the loved ones, because you're going to leave a big void in their lives. And the support services, as far as emotional support, bereavement support that hospice can offer, I think is very important.
And when I talk to people about Trinity Hospice, I always say they're going to be there for you. They're a tremendous help. The grief support groups were amazing. It was a wonderful experience to go through with other people, as well as myself alone. It was a time of great growth and change for me.
I refer one of my patients to Trinity Hospice. I know that I'll be saying goodbye to that patient eventually, but I'm happy with what we can do to take care of the patient and their family at the end of life.
Trinity Hospice was a godsend to make my mom's death seem peaceful and acceptable.
I couldn't do it alone. My family couldn't do it alone. And they were there for me as a crutch to help me along, and they're still helping me along.
The people that we worked with Trinity Hospice became our friends, and all of our family members feel like they can see them in the community, and they're friends of ours now. It's just, another step into building the community, and we feel close to them because of what we went through with them.
When you're faced with a situation like this and you lose someone who's so important to you, you realize that love is really all there is. And for myself and my children, Trinity was really love. They gave us hope even on our worst days, and they were always there for us.